everybody. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome. Thank you for joining me on this Valentine's live. It's saying something weird on my screen, but you know, it's something different. Apparently everything's upgraded on this technology these days. But thank you so much for joining me. I hope that you guys are looking forward to making these cute little gnomes. I definitely am very excited by them. Not that I really do anything Valentine's-y, but you know, he will be on display somewhere on Valentine's Day. But the good thing about this is whatever I'm showing you today is it can then be used as, you know, Christmas gnomes or Easter gnomes or Halloween gnomes, like whatever you really feel like doing. So just give you guys a good little shot of him there. He's completely posable, so he's got some wire in his arms, but he's an amazing little guy, and I think I've just left the wire in another section of the craft room, so I'll have to grab that in a moment. So how's everyone been? I can see hi Joanne, hi Janine, hi Deirdre. Oh, it's pretty hot here today. I don't know if you guys are feeling it as much now, and I will say because of the Cricut design space upgrade that happened today, like the downtime with the maintenance, I didn't want to risk it and cut live on the show, so I've decided that I would have absolutely everything pre-cut so that it makes it a lot easier, and it makes it a little bit quicker of a, what's the word I'm looking for, of a session for you guys. So I'm going to get started on the gnome. I don't want to dilly-dally too much. Hi Yvonne, how are you? So I want to show you guys the supplies that we need, and I think it's just easier for me to go to the overhead camera, so here we are. So first off, what we're starting with is some socks. So I've just picked up some basic crew socks from Kmart. Doesn't matter what size. I'm actually going to also be using some grey socks. Now this is because I want this guy to have a grey body instead of the white base. So I've got my socks here ready. I've got some rice, some just cheap long grain rice. I have some embellishments, so I've got a couple of different embellishments here. So that's a little, it's a silicone bead, but if you want to use a ping pong or something like that, then by all means do that as well. And then I have got some glue sticks, sorry, a hot glue gun. I've got a little pom pom here, a pair of tweezers so I don't burn myself, my scissors. I do have my sewing scissors, my Cricut fabric scissors, so I've got them here as well. A little bit of faux fur, so this will become his beard, and the felt that I've pre-cut. Now I will send the file and share the file with anyone who is after it. But yeah, so it is definitely all available. Because I've left my wire in another section of the craft room, I'm actually going to pull the wire off these flowers if it lets me, or cut it off maybe, because I just need a little bit of posable wire. So I'm just going to pull the wire off, or cut it off, sorry, because I'm not He-Man. So now I have two pieces of wire as well, so just thin floristry wire will do. Hey Shelley. And then I have my cardstock, which is for a different portion. So this bad boy here, he's holding a bunch of flowers and a little love letter, but for the one that I'm doing, he is going to be holding what is considered a love heart box of chocolates. So this is what this file is going to be for. Alrighty, definitely I'll share it over on Nat's Crafty Life after tonight, just so that you've got this available. Alrighty, so to get started, we don't need any of this junk around here. It's not required to start with. What we want to do is we want to, and I do preface this by saying there are many, many different ways to make these gnomes. I don't know why I call them dwarfs. Gnomes. So I'm going to take my sock. Now, I've already pre-cut it because I was testing out the size for it. But on my sock here, I just cut it at the bend, or the ankle bend. So I just cut it here across, so straight across there, and I've got this leftover piece here from the heel. So I'm just going to, hey Zelia, hey Gail. So I'm just going to put my sock over a cup for the time being. It's just a cheap plastic cup. Nothing special about this. This is just so I can get the rice down to the bottom of it. So I'm just going to pour some because, you know, who has scoops these days? Oh, and I also did forget to mention that you need some wadding, some stuffing, essentially. So I've got my rice in there. We've got a little bit of a ball. Now, with this guy here, the rice only goes to about here, and the rest of it is stuffing. You can probably see a little bit of the color change where the rice is versus the white stuffing. I just want to make sure I have enough rice into it so that he's not going to topple over. If you don't want to use rice, you can also use those little beads that you put in the bottom of vases. That will help. I'm going to get rice everywhere. I knew this was a curse for me. So I'm just going to keep adding a little, move my cup out of the way, and I'm just kind of stretching the sock as I go. And then wish me luck with this part, because it's the part where you can't really see what I'm doing. Alrighty. So I've got enough of a base for him. He's not going anywhere. So I'm just going to grab some of the stuffing that I have. Now, I used an old dirty, I dirtied the back of this cushion cover. And inside it, I realized it was one from Kmart that had the faux fur on the front, and it was like a faux suede, but there wasn't a zipper. So because the back of it was dirty and I couldn't wash it, I've just decided to use this as my faux, my bead, and then the stuffing from it is perfect. So I'm not wasting anything to use for inside the gnome. So I'm just going to keep stuffing him. But I would try and find it really cheap, because stuffing is actually really expensive if you go to buy it from like Spotlight or somewhere. Like I went and quoted it, and it was like $15 to $20 for a small bag. And to me, that's just not good enough. So I'm just stuffing him, just trying to get a good body for him. You can gauge what you can see. I want it sort of tall. Hey, Suzette, how are you? So I'm just going to stuff him a little bit more. You know, I thought I was super prepared for this live, and now I'm looking around and I do not have my elastic band. So give me 2 seconds while I quickly grab an elastic band from, actually it'll be behind me, I'll have one. Lucky I got my rolls of vinyl right behind me, and I can just pull one off them. Alrighty, so I've got my little shape, and you'll be able to shape him more once he's tied up anyway, so don't worry about that. So I'm just going to get my elastic band. Now, some people use hair ties, like the smaller hair ties, the ones for little kids' braids and stuff like that. I pretty much did not go and, like, this is all stuff in here that you would find in your house. That's what I wanted to make sure. So I've got that all done here. I'm just going to trim the top of him a little bit with my scissors. Now, you don't have to do this portion here, but I'm actually just going to, just so that, of course I have to put a glue stick in. I'm just going to put a bit of glue on the top of him just to stop it from, why is my glue gun not grabbing the, do I need to get my other glue gun? Why is it not grabbing? Let me just see if I can get this working. There we go. So I'm just gluing the top, just so that if it does, the elastic band does burst, the top of it is sort of glued together. You don't have to, but it's up to you. Hi Tennille, how are you? Alrighty, so whilst that does its little drying thing, now you can see here I've got a little shape. So whilst that's doing that part, I'm actually going to take this portion of the felt that I've cut out, and he's just a cone from Design Space, and he's actually just going to link around and create the hat. Now, a lot of people do create their hats online. I've seen them heaps. They use these kind of fluffy socks that you can get. So this is just a pair from, I think, Big W. It's really rare to find it here in our summer to get some fluffy socks, which is why I'm opting to show you guys the option of the felt, because I wanted to have as many Cricut components in it as possible so you could see what is able to be done. But also, I didn't really get much of a variety of fluffy socks. So, yeah. So I'm just going to glue up the tab, so you'll be able to notice one portion of it is a bit longer from the edges. Yep, I've seen that as well too. I'm just working with what I have at home, so I'm not saying you can't do that, Janine. I just didn't want to go out and buy string because I don't actually have string in my craft room. So what I am doing is I'm trying to make it all completely out of items I have at home. And those pair of socks, whilst I didn't have at home, because I decided not to use them, I will be returning them. So for me, I don't mind that there's a seam on the back of my gnome's hat, because he's going to sit at the back. So my hat's been done. By all means, you can use string, like I said, or not zip ties, but those little like twist ties. So I now have a gnome hat that will work perfectly on top of my gnome. My gnome's going to have a grey body, but you're not really going to notice much of that. Now, the next portion that I want to kind of do is work out where we want to put my gnome's nose. Now, if you wanted to do, there's another way where you don't stuff it and you just completely fill it with rice, and then you can turn your sock into a nose by using elastic band. I didn't want to do that only because I just didn't like how big it was. Yeah, I've watched a lot of different ones of these, Janine. It was trying to decide what looked best. So even though the bead has a hole in the top and bottom, you can actually hide where the hole is because of how the hat sits over the top of the nose. So what I wanted to do is work out exactly where I wanted it to go. And I literally just used a silicone bead that, well, actually my sister had it here because she's trying to sell her silicone beads. So if anyone wants silicone beads, reach out to me. So it doesn't matter that the dot's at the top here, because the dot is actually going to get covered by the hat when we glue it all down. So when it's glued all down, it'll get covered completely, but it's going to look way cuter than this, so don't stress. So the next part that I want to talk about is we're going to give him some arms, and because I'm using these kind of ankle socks and not the other ones where I have an extra bit allowed, I'm going to use this portion here. I'll just move him back, this portion here to do my arms. So he's going to have grey arms with pink mittens. Now you don't have to do mittens. Some people do, I've seen people do things like just applying some felt around it so it's just a round hand, but I liked the idea of mittens, so it could be like holding something. So I'm just going to, it's really hot right now at my house. Hey Angela, how are you? So I've got these two pieces here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the pieces of wire that I had cut previously, and I'm going to roll them. I'm going to try and keep them as straight as possible. I'm going to roll them into the arm here. So this is going to create that hinged arm here that you see. So if there's a bit of wire in there, I can move it straight. I can't do it right now because I need to muscles. So I'm just going to literally roll it and then pop a little bit of glue down this arm. I've seen many, many different ways to do this. Like I said, personal preference. I really preferred this way. I did actually trial a lot of different ways as well. But, you know, there are heaps of tutorials out there as well. So, you know, if you don't find something cohesive in mine, you might be able to find a similar style, but different process elsewhere. So I'm not going to say I'm the only way to do it. There are heaps out there. And I'll just cut that there. So I'm trying not to have much wastage here because I always end up with a lot of wastage. So, all right, so I have my 2 arms. What is important right now is I'm going to get my mittens. I don't know how well they cut, but they cut well enough for me. Alrighty, so the thing I need to understand is that there is a seam on the back of my arms. Now, because there is a seam on the back of my arms, I needed to make sure I placed my mittens on so that it wasn't going to be obvious when looking at my gnome. So I don't want the seam to be facing with the raw edge to me. I want it facing the opposite so that the raw edge is facing the back. So for the left arm, my left, his right, I think. Yep. I'm going to place it like so. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue on the mitten. I'm going to place it down, smack bang in the middle. Actually, I'll probably move it back a little bit. Doesn't need so far down. And then I'm literally just going to put some glue around the mitten or the glove on the top of the arm, and then glue my glove or my mitten together. Just a bit of hot glue. Pop a little bit in here. Whew. And that just spilled over, so I'm going to use my tweezers to close that shut so I don't have to burn my hands. And then I'm just going to trim up where the glue spilled out. Great thing about hot glue is it does dry quickly. So now I have one hand ready. The wire just popping out a little bit, but I'm just going to push the wire down a little bit. So we've got one arm ready to go. And then we'll just do the same with the other, but likewise, I don't want the raw edge facing in, I want it facing out. So this is the position that I need to go. A little bit of hot glue here. Pop that there. I'm going to need another glue stick soon. It does seem to use a lot of glue, but I would rather use a decent amount of hot glue and know it's stuck together than, you know, wing it and whatnot. So see, already I need another hot glue stick. So I'm a bit of an overkill when it comes to hot glue, if anyone doesn't already know. And likewise, stick the other mitten down here. Oh, bit of hot glue came out and attacked my finger. It's all good. Alrighty, so I have 2 arms here now ready to go on my gnome. Now my gnome, I have him so that he's actually going to hold something. So I don't want him to be I don't want him to sit too far down. If he's holding his hands out like that, that sits like at a really good level. So I think that what I'm going to do is just glue the tops here. Like I said, you can never have too much glue. You guys are very quiet tonight. You feel free to ask questions, or am I answering them all? And then once again up here, more glue. Press that together. Burn myself apparently. Alrighty, so that portion of it is done. So we know that because the nose gets half covered with the hat, we know that the hat will also cover that portion of his arms when I sit it on properly. So that's already going to look great once on. What we need to do now is the beard. Now, this is a really important part. I've cut off the bead here, but what we're going to do is want to keep as much length as we possibly can. So I don't want the beard to be super long. I probably want to cut it down at this point here, but you don't want to just chop it straight across. Otherwise you won't get the long scraggly bits of the hair. So, so what you want to do is you want to try and just cut the backing. So you're just gently going in, and you'll feel it if you're cutting through more than just the backing. So like I said, you just want to take it out. And you can kind of see the scissors against the backing. So I know I don't need him very, because this one's got a really furry, here we go. So he's got a really long portion to him here anyway. So as it is on my gnome, that's already going to be super long. But what I need to then do is just cut a neat little triangle around his bead, around his nose, which will take out some of the fluff. And that will sit up around the bead. Now I'm just going to shape the sides here just so that it's curved down, because I think that I've definitely got way too much on the sides. So I'm just pulling that away, and I'm just, like I said, I'm just going to shape around so he doesn't have too much of a, you know, maybe he doesn't need that much sideburns. Now I don't really feel the need to shape him down the bottom too much because I really like the fur the way it is down the bottom. So if you see that there, you'll be able to see a little bit of his bum. See if I show you that there. So what I need to do is I need to glue this on. Now you can, once he's there, you can shape him so he's got like peculiar moustache or anything like that. But what I'm doing is just putting some hot glue on the backing. Now if you want, you can also give him like different colored clothes by adding another sock over the top of his body. I didn't want to do that because I thought it would just detract from the design that I'm working with. So just keep that in mind. You can add another sock over the grey or the white bottom, which I do see lots of people do, but we just don't have that variety of clothing and socks available here. So we've given him his little beard. I'm just going to give him some full coverage at the top here. And like I said, you can shape him, give him like, you know, peculiar little moustache happening. It's whatever you feel like, or you can just brush it straight down. So it's up to you how you want him to sit. Apparently I haven't got enough hot glue here. Great thing is that part's not going to be seen, so you can be as messy with the glue as you like. So I've got him sitting there. Oh, it's hot. So the next point I need to do is I need to attach the hat. So he's going to look a little cute with his hat. So from here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop some glue on the top of the nose. Oh, it is so hot here that I've got literally sweat dripping. So I hope you guys are having a more cooler night than I am. And I'm just popping a little bit of glue underneath the hat in increments, because you don't want it to come out too much. So I'm just gluing it all the way around. And there's nothing in the hat. It doesn't need any structure because it's felt, so it has that durability and that structure to itself anyway. And then, probably can't see that, but just glued that portion, and then just a little bit here at the back needs being done. And of course I need another bloody hot glue stick, because I go hot glue crazy. Got a cool change, and it's raining. Woohoo! I'm glad it's cool for you. It's definitely not that great here for me at the moment. I'm just going to like use the rice to my advantage right now and angle him slightly. And we've got our hands where we want them. So hopefully you can see a bit of him. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pop, I think I like his hat up for this one. So I'm going to pop some glue on the bottom of a pom pom. This is just a basic pom pom you can get from Spotlight. You could tie bells to him. You could pretty much do anything you want. Tie some ribbon. I just hot glued myself. Where's the safety instructor here? And you can create anything. I didn't want to do too much with his head, so I decided, unlike this guy where I put a little XOXO love heart candy, I decided I would leave this guy as he is at the moment. I might change my mind after the fact. You have winter PJs on? Are you crazy? So now the only thing I really need to do is my decorative pieces. So you could pop some like buttons on the top of him or anything like that. I've created, well, this is just a design in Design Space, which is just a box, kind of gift box, love heart gift box. So I'm just folding it on the score lines. I pre-cut it last night. Now, just give me a moment. Oh, rain in the next hour in Adelaide. Yeah, Janine, I think, Yvonne, are you in Adelaide too? I think that's where Yvonne's from as well, from memory. So, yeah, I know you guys had it sweltering on Sunday though, so I'm not going to complain. So I've just put a little bit of tape on it, and these literally just connect together. It's narrower at the base than it is up the top, so you've got a little bit of room in there. So if you want to put little love notes, or you could actually put a gift card in there if you're gifting it to someone. I'm actually going to have him holding this one so that he can gift someone a present. So what I need to do for this to make sure he's holding it properly, oh, that's right, New South Wales border. We're down there somewhere, but isn't it the heat all the same? Don't judge me. Actually, I do need to just pop this little cardstock on as well. So I'm just going to use my double-sided tape because in a video it definitely lasts. It applies quicker. Yeah, it's not 19 degrees here, unfortunately. So he's going to sit, I'll just get his hair out of the way. I'm going to have him holding a little bit at the bottom. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop some hot glue here, because remember, we're not going to really see his hands. So I'm going to put some hot glue here. I'm going to just attach it. Be mindful that it will be hot. So, and then I'm going to put a little bit on the other side. So I'm going to pop and you're just trying to make sure you don't glue all the his beard to it. So I'm just making sure that stays. And he's got his nice little beard showing underneath. So that's him. I'm going to sneeze in a minute. Yeah, I removed the mustache because I realized that he wouldn't work on this guy here, but the mustache would work on this guy here for sure. So potentially what I have here is I put more on this guy, so you know, you can shape him. I'm not really good at hair, so you can shape this guy so he's got little mustache happening. Let's just twirl it. I don't know, if I was a guy, I don't know how shaped I would be, but you can manicure it. But yeah, so I'm not sure if I like the moustache look because I think this one's got really long fur. But I definitely think it worked out great. You could literally pop, you know, if you've got some chocolates or anything you want in this little box. I don't have any chocolates, so I can't really pop it in the box. But there's definitely room for that. I'm just going to switch over to the front view because that pretty much has us sorted. So now with all my mess in front of me, we have my new gnome. And he's holding a little gift, ready for someone. See if I can get closer. Hopefully that looks good. I'll take a better photo anyway and share the files. But please let me know what you think. Everyone's saying they love them, that they're so cute. But you can literally decorate them any. So if you didn't want his hat pointy, you can give him a slouch cap. You know, you could slouch it forward if you wanted. You could slouch it back. So we still got that there. If you wanted to decorate him with different things, you could have him, like I've got here, he's holding half a dozen red roses because a dozen would be overkill, and a little love note, which is literally just a little bit of print and cut, draw and cut. So these are definitely my little two gnomies here. And yeah, I can't wait to see what you guys make, and I don't care, like, go and make some Easter gnomes or a birthday gnome. I did have someone say that they expected a birthday gnome for their birthday. I have to make them. Hubby will not be impressed. I'll keep it for me. Look, honestly, my husband he thought it was cool when I first was like, go in, check out my gnome, because I was really proud of it. But he's definitely not going to be all like, oh, look, my wife got me a gnome. My gnome got me a wife. My wife got me a gnome for Valentine's Day, because we don't really do the Valentine's Day thing. But if you are someone who does, it would look really cute sitting there next to the real gift. Alrighty, so what else is there to say? There's a couple of things I wanted to talk to you guys about before we finished up for the night. So first and foremost is that there's going to be a little impromptu live happening on Tuesday night. Can't remember what time, but we'll post about it. I'm so sorry, I'm terrible with times at the moment. It's probably going to be about 7 o'clock as well, but it's going to happen on Cricut for Australians. So join in to a impromptu live where you'll find out some exciting information. And then Paul, unfortunately, is going to be away next week. He's partying it up in Queensland, so he won't be live next week, and I should be live the week after, but I'm not really sure what I'm doing yet. So give me 2 weeks to work it out. Let me know if there's anything you want to see as well. I definitely will take requests depending on what it is. But yes, so let me know what you want me to do in 2 weeks' time for the live on Thursday, this time, 2 weeks. And we can go from there. Suzette, it is easy to find the heart file, but I'm also going to share it because it's in the file that I'm sharing. So in the file that I'm sharing for the gnome will be the shape for his hat, the gloves, the heart that he's holding, the letter from this one, and the heart here with the XOXO on it. So there's definitely a lot of options in there, but once again, you don't have to use this little love heart box just for this. You can make it bigger for different things. So it's definitely available, and I'll share the project on my page when I get off here. So yeah, Janine, so the live will pop up on Facebook. So it'll pop up like our old school lives used to be. It'll pop up and it'll say live, but it won't be through YouTube. It'll be through Facebook on Cricut for Australians. So if you're not a part of Cricut for Australians and you want to be, jump on and join. Also, if you don't already like mine and Paul's pages on Facebook, please feel free to jump over and give us a like on Facebook and Instagram. So it's Nat's Crafty Life and Scissors Paper Paul. Also, if you don't already, feel free to give me a like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm trying to keep things a little bit, you know, appropriate for what you want. So I've already got someone saying they want to see a 3D mandala. But yes, so I will let you guys go, and I will check out the comments if I haven't already addressed everything now. We'll see you on Tuesday night for our impromptu live on Cricut for Australians. And other than that, I'll see you in 2 weeks' time when I do some form of live on the channel here. I don't believe it is Suzette. He's going to be pretty much MIA for about 2 weeks. He's going to be partying up on Bribey Island. So I don't want to speak 100%, but if he hasn't already shared his link for this Sunday coming, then chances are he won't be live. So yeah, anyway, I'm going to let you guys go. I'm going to pack up this mess. I'll share that project for you guys. Have a wonderful night. The aircon's about to be turned on in my house in the bedroom, so I'm going to be in there. See you later. Bye, guys.